Hi guys, a nation moves from transitional or an electoral democratic status to a liberal democratic status after it's practiced democracy for if you like 100, 200 years. Now in a liberal democratic status, notice this, the political rights that used to exist in a transitional democracy, in a transitional democracy are and they were underdeveloped in that type of democracy, are very much developed in liberal democracy. So you move after 200 years or so, even though some people talk about leapfrogging and all that, but generally if you practice transitional democracy for a long time, you become matured and all that, you move to a liberal democracy where the political rights that were being practiced in that transitional democracy and they were so severely underdeveloped are exported or they are practiced in a liberal democratic status, but this time they are fully developed. It means that in liberal democracies, the right to vote and be voted for is so enshrined. Elections are held periodically, but they are also free, fair, peaceful, and transparent, and they are reflective of the choices of the people. So, political rights are fully developed. And then also, economic, cultural, and social rights are also fully developed in liberal democracies. So, political rights fully developed, economic, social, and cultural rights are fully developed too. And that is after you have climbed higher the ladder of democratic progression from authoritarianism to electoral or transitional democratic status, and then from there, after some 200 years or so, you move to a liberal democratic status where all the rights we are talking about, political, social, economic, and cultural rights, are so fully developed and they are enjoyed to the full by the citizens. There, you have the right to criticize the government and still you'll be able to sleep freely after leveling all manner of criticisms against the government. You don't criticize and become scared and look over your shoulders. When elections are held, they are not a do or die battle. Because economic and social and cultural rights are fully developed, people do not see their interest so much, their interest and sources and well-being so much tied to the outcome of any election. Elections go on and people go about their normal activities. It is not in developing countries, it's not in transitional democracies where because he who wins an election will have access to ATM machine on his veranda, elections become do or die affair. No. In liberal democracies, elections are not a do or die battle. It's just a healthy contest of ideas and people make sure they use the opportunity to decide on who must lead them, who must govern them. But their future and their economic fortunes and destinies do not necessarily rest on the outcome of a single election. And so when there is election, people go about their normal activities and there is no threat of democratic relapse in liberal democracy. So all the rights are developed there. And that is what it is. So that is a vast improvement in what happens among transitional democracies. I will look at the final stage of democratic progression in the final